Hi, welcome to the Dog Dave Show. Today on the show we are talking about culture. I've decided to introduce the culture awareness because it does impact us in one way or the other, in the way we do our job, it's in the health sector, it could be in business, just in general lifestyle. Everywhere you go, there's diversity, and there's richness in diversity. That's why I said maybe we should follow up the culture series. So on the show, I'll be inviting different cultures. You will be seeing the Italians, you'll be seeing the Greeks, you'll be seeing the Filipinos, you name it. But today, I'm highly favored to have the Indian culture on the show. This is a Townsville community have decided to break the ice to talk about their own culture. You talk about your own culture. You don't talk about anybody's culture. You should know about your culture. There's no good or bad culture. So today, I'm so pleased that I got a delegation from the Indian community from Townsville, Queensland. And leading the team is Dr. Samriti Krishna. Dr. Samriti, I appreciate coming to the show. Thank you so much, and everybody else on the show.
Thank you.
Right, so you are so passionate. You're a doctor by profession.
I'm a scientist by profession.
Yeah, you're a scientist by profession, right? And you work for the James Cook University. And tell us more. You are so passionate about cultural awareness, multiculturalism, diversion. Tell us more about it. What made you do it?
First of all, thank you for bringing me and the rest of the Indian community under one umbrella.
That's right.
To this show. Thank
That's
you
okay.
very much
That's
for
okay.
that.
That's okay.
And it's always a proud opportunity to talk about your culture.
That's right.
Your individual identity is based on your culture.
That's right.
Which is the sum total of the belief and the lifestyle which
Yes.
has been passed over
Yes.
to the generation. And one of the main reasons, as you said, why I am so passionate about my culture and my country in general is the way we were brought up back home,
Yes.
and how you can showcase the best to the community that you are living in.
Yes.
So I've been in this community for more than 10 years now.
Yes.
And it's always a good chance or proud opportunity to present your the best part of your culture.
Yes.
And so that the other cultures can learn from you.
Yes.
And absorb
Yes.
things which are in different cultures.
That's right. So you've been doing this for how long now?
So more than 10 years.
More than 10 years. So specifically, what do you do?
So I'm a scientist by profession, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And one of the main reasons why I'm involved in this is that you can see that science is a lot disconnected from the community most of the time, because the scientific discoveries stay in the scientific journals, and it takes a long time for that to come to the community.
Right.
So that is where I'm very passionate that how can we bring science to the common man, and how can we increase awareness of changing your lifestyle, doing simple things like changing your lifestyle, changing your food habits,
Yes.
changing your living conditions, and that can impact greatly on your health, long-term health.
Wow.
And so I think Indian culture has a lot to offer in this field.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so proud of when I grew up, and I had lots of Indian friends, lots of them. I come from Zimbabwe myself. Most of my friends were Indian, actually. So I'm so passionate about the Indian culture. I've always wanted to go there. I haven't been there, though. It's a massive country. Your population is low. You're looking at over 1 billion people, isn't it? And of that huge population, there's, is it 23 constitutionally recognized languages?
More than
24, and also the Hindu is the main one, is that right?
Yes, we have,
Hindi, you call it, yeah, sorry. That's okay.
Yeah, India is a subcontinent if you really look at it, because it's 24 is recognized by the constitution.
Yes.
But if you really look at it, each region is a completely different country with a different cuisine, different lifestyle, different dress habits.
Yes.
So it's a mix of more than 25 different countries within the country.
Right.
And different dialects. There's more than 700 dialects which are spoken in India.
In India, yeah.
The constitutionally recognized languages are different, but there's more than 700 dialects. So you can imagine such a diverse
That's
place,
right. Yeah.
but there is an underlying unity in this diversity, which is our underlying culture and belief.
That's good. Yes, very good. Now, before you came to Australia, right, did you have this passion in multiculturalism?
Yes, I was always passionate
Yes.
because as a child I was fortunate to be in a family where we could, interact with a lot of different cultures because of my dad's profession.
Yes.
And I found that there's a lot that Indian culture can offer to the foreign, culture.
Yes.
And I've seen that throughout my younger days. So that was one of the reasons when I came to Townsville, I saw that there is an avenue where we can showcase the best part of our culture so that people know more about us.
Yes.
So Australia is pretty new compared to the Central Europe, and it's a pretty still a young country.
It is. It is. That's right. But you don't only deal with Indian culture. You also deal with other. You describe it as a linguistic platform. Do you talk different languages as well?
Yeah, we do talk different languages, and we have absorbed a lot of different words or sentences or things into the language. And also I think Indians are the most versatile in terms of learning a new language as well, because the basic of the language is the root language is Sanskrit of most of the languages spoken in India, and it is one of the highest order language. So if you have that root, it's very easy to pick up a lot of other languages. So you can see that you will see a lot of people with very easy to pick up a new language.
That's good. Yeah, I'll give you a break on that one. Now, Nick, you're on the show. Nick is you head the Townsville India Festival. You're in charge, or you are the chairman, or?
I work with the team. I'm a volunteer.
That's right.
Joint secretary for India Fest with other my colleagues.
Yes.
And our biggest aim for the India Fest is to bring all Indian community together.
Yes.
And show the cultural exchange with the local Australians and Indians.
Yes, that's good. And the next festival will be in September.
Yes, this coming 5th September. Yeah,
and all the information is available on your website. That's right. People can access your information.
We are starting to publish this information.
Yes.
We recently had a meeting last weekend. That's the date has decided just a week before.
Yes.
It will be available on the website, on our Facebook page.
That's very good. Yeah, so for those of you who live around here, Queensland, if you're in Australia, September is a big day. Mark the date on the calendar, or check on the website, keep in touch. You learn more from this cultural mix. It's good to have diversity, because people can share knowledge, understanding, and experiences in life. And it's always better for the community, it's better for the country, it's better for the company you're working for. Because you're sharing knowledge, experiences, and there's more creativity, more innovation, and more diversity, which is good. It creates a healthy environment, basically. Now we're talking now about Indian culture. Now we're going to go into the nitty-gritty about India. The first thing I like about going to the Indian restaurant is tikka masala and all this stuff. Somebody who's going to break the ice on the tikka masala. What does that mean, tikka masala?
My brother owns a restaurant here in Townsville, so I can no publicity, but butter chicken, everyone loves that, and chicken tikka masala.
Yeah.
Like, it's spicy for many of the Australians. Some people, they can eat it very easily. I mean, but yes, these two dishes, they are really favorite for every Australian and other.
And you brought us some dishes to show us today, isn't it? You're going to show us some dishes. Later on, you're going to show us some dishes. Right, so I am going to go into more detail. In every culture, there is rules and norms and values and everything. How is it for you in your culture in terms of dating, for instance?
Okay. I belong to Gujarat, which is in western part of India.
Right.
When I left India, it was really, when I was in college, for example, no one was telling their parents that I'm looking for a guy or I'm dating or something. That was like really strict thing. Nowadays, it's very formal. Like everyone can tell their parents, okay, I'm seeing this guy or this girl. They meet, then they go to their parents, and then if everything is okay, love come arranged marriage happens.
Arranged marriages happen.
Yes, it is like you are in relationship initially, and then both families get together, and then they finalize, okay, you will get married
Yes.
this year or something. So
Okay.
that's how it was. But
So
it
how
was
is
difficult.
Yeah, how is the
15 years
process?
ago.
Is it exchange of lobola money? Is God speaks? You know what I mean?
Sorry?
Do you have to exchange things, gifts and stuff?
In Gujarat, it's not necessary. I've seen in other states they have that thing like, okay, girl's family do give gifts to her for her better future.
Right.
But in my state, I haven't seen that. Obviously, the weddings, they are very lavish. I mean, $200,000, $300,000 expense for lavish wedding over there.
And do you have to pay for that?
Okay, so wedding day, girl's family normally pay,
Yes.
and reception,
Yes.
boys' family normally pay. But now there are educated people who do is like they share all the expense.
Yeah.
So from start, say for example, mehendi till the reception, they share all the expenses 50-50.
Did you have to do the same thing?
Yeah, mine is arranged marriage.
Was arranged marriage?
Yes, and it arranged as in like the way I grew up, my parents knew me better, and the girl side is the same. So that's the reason we call it as an arranged marriage. That works really well in past generations, and it's changing now because of the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So my father knew what I wanted, like when I studied, what I was studying, when I'm planning my future, he knew what I wanted. So he has a belief on me that he knows what I wanted, so that's why he can look up the better future, even my partner side. So the girl I married is my
Beautiful. Who's here?
she's here, and
That's right.
I saw her when I was doing my intermediate. Like we met mutually, but we never know each other. So I was migrated to Australia. I lived here. I did my masters, and my mother. We chose online, like when we were exchanging profiles.
Yes.
And I like her, profession and the way she's talking and the way she looks, and exchange a number, but we never met each other. So exchange the numbers. I gave number to my father, and father, when he saw the name and number, he said, "Oh, that's our family friends." So they grew up together. That's the only way they can agree with that marriage. If they didn't knew the girl was, they wouldn't go with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Even
even
they deny.
they deny. And the girl side, the best way they look at is, if I'm a father of a girl, like my girl after 25 years when she's going to have an own life,
Yes.
I want to make sure she's secure, safe,
Yes.
and she's going into the better environment. So that is why it's arranged marriage work really well. Like when I'm 25, I might take risk. My dad doesn't want me to take a risk.
Yeah. Okay.
So he took the risk, and he wanted to be me in the safest journey.
Yeah.
And it really worked well in our culture.
Oh, that's very good. Do you believe in interracial marriage as well in your culture?
I do believe, but there are pros and cons in there as
Yes,
well, because
yes.
you're taking risk, and if you know that culture really well, and the family background and the girl, it works out well. If it doesn't matter whether you're marrying same religion, different religion.
Yes.
It's the person's attitude towards you, between two people, mutual understanding.
So it's all about safety, going to the right environment. You worry about the future.
Yes.
So that's
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Because as I mentioned, India is a land of diversity.
Yes.
So if you go from north to south and from east to west,
Yes.
you will see families who have completely different belief system.
Yes.
So you will see people who are rooted to the tradition, to the the hardcore people,
Yes.
and then you will see the most modern,
Yes.
families as well. You will see the most poorest. You will see the most richest.
Yes.
You will see the most uneducated, illiterate, but you will see at the same time the most highly educated. So it's a land of contrast.
That's right.
So it's very hard to generalize.
Generalize, yeah.
Some of the things which you have asked, like I mean, it's an individualistic belief, and it
Yes.
depends on every family.
Everybody
So we cannot generalize because
there's no
it's-
hard and fast rule
yeah,
for that. Yeah, that's right.
In the same manner, like Kaveri has recently married, so he's a better person to speak his experience. And
No, that's okay. We don't want to make it too individual.
Oh,
So
that's
we just in broad terms, basically. Now, how about the family structure in your culture? Who is the most respected? I'm looking at the elderly, respecting the elderly and caring for the elderly.
Yeah.
How is the family hierarchy in terms of decision making and direction of the family?
So families used to be a united families before my father generation.
Yes.
Like my grandfather, he had 4 children, and their children. We all live under one roof. Like the
Right.
grandfather makes the decisions. Fathers listen to them, and we follow them. And they make in like your organization. Family is certain organization, and it worked really well that time. It's united families. That's what we call it as Vasudhaika Kutumbam. Like we consider everyone as a family.
Family.
Even there, we also, when I was a grown-up kid, even my cows and all the things, animals, they were part of my family. They had names like this. When you come to the Western culture, you talk about your pet as a dog, and we used to consider cows, buffaloes, dog. There's all our family because they are very important part of our life as well.
All right. That's very, very
And
interesting.
yeah, so that's the family structure which I grew up.
Yeah. Do you take care of your elderly families?
Yeah, if you really look at the Indian system of family, elders are the most revered in the family for any decisions which is crucial for the family's future, like
Yes.
financial, educational, marriage. For
Yes.
any decisions, it is considered important that the parents or the most eldermost person's thoughts are taken into consideration.
Right.
And in fact, for every auspicious occasion, there is a ritual to give dakshina and do the namaskaram, which is a prostration in front of the eldermost person,
Right.
and then only you endeavor into any good sort of activity, whether it's to initiate your study or just going for a trip.
Yeah.
You
go and get the
you get the
blessings
blessing from the eldermost
from the
person.
elderly.
And if you really look at it scientifically or medically also, it has got a very important it's an important element in the society, because if you see there is very low rate of dementia, Alzheimer's, mental health problems in the community, because the elders are never left alone. They are never neglected. They are there to tell stories to the grandkids.
Yes.
They're there for every important occasion. They're not isolated
Right.
in old age home. So I think one of the reasons why our culture is so healthy in terms of spiritual and mental aspect is the important role of elderly
Yeah.
within the day-to-day life.
So the integration.
Integration, yeah.
So we're supposed to stay home. Okay, you guys, you came to Australia. So we're supposed to stay home with the elderly right now. Is
My-
it the last born or the first born?
It's not necessary. I mean, obviously, we chose to come to Australia for, say, for example, I came for study, and then after I decided, okay, I'll stay
You
here
stay
because the lifestyle and
Yeah.
all that, I liked it. So
That's right.
I was like, okay, I'll stay here. At that time, my brother was there. He was studying medicine, so he was there to look after my parents. After that, he also moved here, and he studied, and he is doing as a GP. So then, after what we decided, obviously, I can't leave my parents alone over there. We do have a huge family though, like uncle, auntie, nephew, niece, and
Yeah.
all. So it's not like they are alone. And the society and they go to temple. There are many people to sit down and talk with, and social functions. You must know that we have too many social things going on every other day
That's
over
good.
there.
That's good.
So they are busy, but they do travel here and stay with us for a year or so. Then they go back, and then they come. We go there
Yes.
every year.
Yes.
So and I personally feel like they brought up us in this way that we are in this stage now. It's our responsibility to look after them
Yes.
till they are here or there. It's our job. So if I have to compromise to my work to look after them, I'm happy to do that, because that's my first priority.
That's good. That's good.
I
Do you
think-
have to send some monies every so often to them?
No, I
No?
don't have to, because my dad had a business and he
Yeah.
is doing really good after he's retired, but he's still doing good. But there are families where kids have to send money, and there's nothing wrong in that, because it's your responsibility to
That's
look
right.
after their medical needs, their day-to-day life, and the social things. You have to give gifts and all that. So if they are not capable in this age, obviously it's a kid's responsibility to look after for all their facilities over there while you are staying here and they are over there.
And they'll look after you too when it's your time.
Yes, that's true.
I
That's
think
good.
one of the things about parents coming here is that the experience that we've had in Townsville is that when parents come, they find the lack of social network, which they already have in India. So we have seen that, and this is real experience, that parents come and they can only stay for so much time.
Yes.
Maybe 2 weeks, a month, or after that they really feel the lack of their own social network.
Yes.
And that is the big difference from living in India and here. So they want to go back. For example, my mother always says, you come home, I will not come there.
That's right.
So
that's a place of comfort, you know. So
Yes.
you come here, quite foreign territory. Like you said, maybe it's too hot, maybe it's too cold, maybe it's raining, and there's no social
And
network.
in this age, we can't expect them to adjust here.
Yeah.
Like we have to adjust according to their needs, rather than we force them. No, you have to stay here. I can't come there. We can't do that.
So the decision whether they want to come here or not is up to them, really. It's not up to us.
In my case, what I've tried is, okay, so they've given me so much good life. No, in our culture, until you finish your education, not till 18, until you find your job, until you're settled, your father looks after you. And he doesn't expect anything back. In my friends in Australia, like friends after 18, if they stay in a house, they have to pay rent. But when I was until 30 years, like I never paid rent. Even there is no calculation or anything.
Nothing.
If I go back and offer him money and like he will give me a slap and say, what the hell is this?
It's almost a disrespect.
Disrespect, yes.
It's nothing you can measure it.
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's talk about the careers now. In terms of career direction or career choice, who makes the decision? Is that a personal thing or is it a collaborative thing in the family? You're going to be in medicine, you're going to do accounts, do you have to decide like that or it's your choice?
So,
For my case, I'll start with that. For my case, my mom decided for our profession. And eventually, it ended up well. Because my brother never wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to go into engineering. And she was like, no, you are going to study medicine. So he was forced to enter into medicine. And he had good rank in 12th grade. And he was getting admission in without any donation and stuff. So she forced him. And now he's like, Mom, you were right.
So
It worked well in our family,
That's
but I think everyone's family have different.
That's right.
That is there in the
Doctor,
culture.
I have to get you to talk as well. You want to chip in on the career choice and progression and stuff? Doctor, you introduce yourself.
In my case, it was family's influence,
Yes.
but choice was mine. I did medicine after my graduation, so we were not. I was not even dreaming I could become a doctor. I was not a bright student.
Right.
But my mother had said, I think you are going to become a doctor. That too, it was just about few months before I joined medicine. Anyway, so just like us, it's a family story. But we do have a big influence of parents and family of what we choose. These days, they may not force, but they will definitely influence our choice.
Yes, that's right. Was that the same for you, a doctor too?
As an immigrant child, I did my schooling here, and yes, even with parents who influence first or second generation Australians, the parental influence is a big part because I think as immigrants, what we want to do is make it here, make it well, and we want to have a good life, and so our parents expect the best out of us, best of our abilities, and though nowadays they give us more options, just either engineer or doctor, I'm pretty sure all Indian parents want to see that whatever career that their children choose for them to be the best in it.
Yeah, that's true.
And you find that they are willing to do anything. So my parents, even in the earlier years of our immigration to Australia, when we didn't have all that much money, would pay a significant chunk of their income towards tutoring fees and private school fees, and education was something that all Indian parents consider very big for their children, and they are willing to go the extra mile. And I think that's an integral part of the Indian identity and the immigrant Indian identity too.
And indeed, I've seen all over the world I go. I've seen lots of Indians. I go to conferences, I see lots of Indians, well-educated people, and very much into business as well, which is what we want to ask about business. Yeah, also business-oriented culture, or
Yes.
should I say. You're into business. And once you start business, you don't give up. You know, you might be selling something $1.99, $2.99, but you progress. You don't open up big shops. I've seen small shops. It's all small shops.
But
Is it ingrained in your
Yes.
do business?
I just want to remember this, that most Indian parents only know about doctor, engineer, lawyer. Only three. So most of the Indian kids go for these three, because otherwise the only other category they know is a loser. So you don't want to be a loser. So they just say doctor, engineer, lawyer.
That's very good.
Definitely some families in whom business is ingrained, like you said, and they have that the studious nature, and enterprising nature. That's why you find often very humble businesses that have grown, exploded into massive, global successes. There's quite a few around that you can name, but many of these current billionaires came from very humble beginnings, and you're right, they take that risk. They're willing to work hard, they're willing to sacrifice their personal pleasure, so to speak, for success of something.
It's all influence of parents.
And we have a few successful business people here too, so that are be part of the Townsville community.
If I can bring it back to the culture topic, like the way the education, because you talked about education and business. So these two are really integral part of Indian economy as well as the culture, because the trade is the main route through which India was opened up to the rest of the world, because everyone came to India in search of something. So in search of spices, in search of gold, in search of diamonds, and in search of knowledge. So everyone came to India in search of things. So if you really look at it, knowledge was kept as the highest pedestal, because there are people who have dedicated their life just for learning and compiling the knowledge together. That's why we have the sacred texts like Vedas and all the Upanishads, because they have dedicated their life to retain the knowledge for the rest of the humanity, over the years. We are talking about thousands and thousands of years. So that is one of the reason why Indian parents put a lot of emphasis on education. So even if you are really poor, finding it hard today to make it day to day, they'll still send their kids to the best school and give all the facilities, because it's not the return of money, as you said, like, whether you're a doctor or engineer, but they just want to teach their kids, do their best. So the second aspect of the business is, business has been part of India in the sense, business with an ethics. So when you talk about business, you can talk about business, any business to make money. But what India has shown to the world is how to do business with proper ethics. So that's one of the reasons why, if you see in many of the world, like as you said, you'll see Indian CEOs in some of the big firms, which I don't want to mention, because that is because the human value is kept in front, because that's the underlying basis of our culture, that we value the human being. So it's not just a staff is not just a number of thousands of staff. A staff is an individual. He has got a family who's dependent on him. He'll be having, evening when he's going back to work, he should feel like coming back to work the next day. So that is why businesses run by some of the good Indian, like the famous Indian CEOs are doing really well, because they put people above the profit of the company. The profit will come by itself if the people are happy.
That's right.
So, and that is what India wants to show, or the culture wants to show to the world, that how can you bring the human element back to everything that you do, whether it's medicine, whether it's engineering, whether it's business, bring the human spiritual values back to what you're doing, so that
That's a very good strong point. That one there.
I think
You
just
got
to
yes.
expand on that, what
Yeah,
Smriti
please.
is saying, I'll give you some examples of how it happens. The construction industry, for example, in India, there are people who employ traders,
Yes.
and in bad times, they do not remove the employees. They still keep them going and give them projects which were not in the pipeline to go and commission that.
Yes.
So the traders keep having some kind of work, and that way it keeps their families going. So an employer doesn't see himself as a profit-making entity,
Yes.
but as someone who is guardian of those families.
Yes.
So, and that's a real experience that we see in India.
You're also a doctor yourself. How
Yes,
was
sir.
that for you in terms of career choice?
Mine, it's an interesting one, because I did homeopathy, which is also considered medical field. We
Yes.
go through the exact same
Yeah.
studies and everything.
Yes.
So in my case, it came from family heritage. So my grandfather is a medical doctor, and that's why my another grandfather was a district surgeon. So it was quite natural for me to take medical.
Runs in the family.
So again, it was a familiar
Yes,
thing.
Sorry
That's
to
good.
interrupt.
That's
It
good.
will you will look that way that doctors' kids they will become doctor,
Yeah.
dentist kids they will become dentist. So it is like
Most of the time, teachers' kid will not become teachers.
teacher. That's the only profession. It's different.
So you break it down. Right, let's talk about gender equality in the family, in your families. Yeah, how do you view gender? I mean, who holds the weak?
Again, I can just paint a general picture,
In
and
general,
and probably everyone can talk about their own.
Yeah.
So India again is a land of contrast,
Yes.
because I'll keep saying that because
Yes.
there is no general saying to that.
General, yeah,
So I mean, India has got matrilineal as well as patriarchal structure. So if you see, majority of the families follow the patriarchal structure, but there are families, especially I'm coming from a matrilineal family, where my lineage is traced through the maternal side, and the women hold higher power, or I mean, the equality is there in the day-to-day life, but it's considered a bit more, that the women have to be respected in every aspect, whereas there are some patriarchal families where the men have the final say. So it's very hard to, put a structure that India is generally patriarchal, but it runs different in different families depending on the tradition as well. So probably others will have something else to add to that.
You want to say something, Nick?
Yeah, only when I see this discrimination coming after Australia. But whether the same term used back home, not sure, because my mom, I always respect her, and even though mom doesn't work, and mom looks after us, and dad is the main bread feeder, like he's earning, and in the society everybody looks up to dad as a great person, but behind his mom is the backbone of the house, and she never felt discrimination, and she never expected that no, I want to be recognized. But there is a father side. Father is always expected a recognition when he goes out to the society.
Yeah.
But it's give and take, and we never look at the different gender. We look at it as an
Complementary.
complementary.
Yeah.
I would like to differ on that.
Yeah.
The reason is we all come from middle class or upper middle class, all of us here, and therefore we have a certain set of ideas about it, and I think we are all right about it. Women or mothers tend to be the backbone of a family. All of that is right, but when you look at the statistics and not just the anecdotal thing, then we see a different picture. When we see India has I'm not putting India down, but culturally it is something that we have to grapple with. It's a challenge that we have to grapple with, and Indian government is grappling with it. We recognize it. The issue is that India has one of the lowest malnutrition for women, for girl child in the entire world. It is even lower than Pakistan. It's even lower than Nepal. It's on par with Ethiopia, and that is a reality. And to me, that is something that we are not proud of, but we want to work with it. It has, and mainly because it's an agrarian country. It's an agricultural country where women tend to take a backseat because it's so physically and manually intense, and therefore the minimum resources that we have, it needs to be shared, and most of the time children get the first priority, and then the men get the priority. Women tend to take a backseat in an agricultural family, and India is mostly an agricultural country, and therefore that's something that we all need to work with.
So can I add to that from a cultural perspective?
Yes, yes.
Because since we're talking about culture and gender inequality, so before, if you look at the history, the concept of gender inequality never existed in India. So this is something which we had acquired over the period of the aggressions or invasions and the different belief system which was imposed upon us. So just an example of, because we spoke about arranged marriages and all. So if you look at history, we had the choice of choosing the suitable husband left to the female to be decided upon, of course with the blessing of the parents, but the structure has completely changed over the past 600 years of aggression by different invaders. So now it has come to a point that we have got a lot of leftover things in our system, which we are still, as Masha pointed out, we are still fighting with those systems, which is not actually the inherent part of our culture, which is extraneous, and it needs a lot of education from the grassroots level to actually show them that this is not how our culture is to be. Yeah.
That's very good. Now, the other thing I admire most about the Indian culture is the dressing. The floral dressing. I'm going to get one by one. Put you on the spot. You're going to talk about your dressing.
Yes. So I was told today was the cultural day, so I made sure that I'm wearing something very cultural.
Very, very nice.
So India has got, I don't know, more than 30 different weaves and different cottage industries. We call it cottage industries because this is mostly run by families in the villages. So they have looms where they do traditional weaving, and each part of or each state of India has its own properly named looms which has got a history by itself. So you will need a show just to talk about Indian textiles. But just to give a brief, so this is called ajrak print. So this is pure vegetable dye. This is done on cotton over 7 processes. So you have the different vegetable dyes put on blocks, and then you keep putting it on. So let the first layer dry, then they go through process, then the next layer. So it's 7 layers of different colors of vegetable that you see here. So there's nothing nothing inorganic, nothing artificial. It's all done through traditional printing techniques, which has been there for ages. So this is a tribal printing. So this is from the north western part of India.
Wow.
So it's made on cotton.
What about yours?
Okay, mine is from Gujarat. It was part of the Bandhani print, but I just got. Bandhani is like dots, kind of this thing, which is very famous. And they just modified that print. This is also like a raw cotton silk kind of material. In dressing, if I say Gujarati girls wear different style for sari, and South Indians they have their own style to wear sari. So you will sari only, but in different ways they wrap up. So it's all different, and our main dressing is you won't even pronounce that. That is chaniya choli. Very good. Most of the people had trouble. So I was like, I used to say lehenga. But that's my own tradition for chaniya choli. When we go to play dandiya, you might have seen the dance with the sticks. Yes, 9 nights festival. So
how about yours? This is very floral as well too.
Oh, mine? I'm wearing cotton salwar suit, which is mainly a North Indian one, but it's now become a part of the fashion throughout India, so we wear it. I'm a South Indian, where mostly saris are the thing, but I'm not wearing it because I was not told about what to wear.
I think the guys, they wear, looking at it, the guys wear, what's it, dhoti?
That's
This
what.
is dhoti. This is kurti.
this is kurta.
Just kurta. That's dhoti.
That's dhoti, but South Indian style one.
South
that
Indian
is
style.
different one.
Dhoti
So you
proper
wear a long
wear.
shirt. Right?
Yes, a long shirt. One great thing about Indian male fashion is that none of us steer away from bright colors. So, our palette is a lot more varied compared to the different shades of dark and grey of the suits. As good as you look in a suit, I must say it's a great suit. but we're not afraid to put on a bit of color, a bit of print. There are male kurtas, we call these a kurta, that come in prints and embroidery as well. For our weddings, we generally have more elaborate ones with
Is it Diwali? Oh no, Diwali, that's a celebration.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And I see you got no shoes.
This is the two ways of wearing the dhoti.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a more complex one. This is a simple one.
That's a simple one. You just wrap around, isn't it?
And there
That's a
is,
simple one. Yeah.
It's very
in
comfortable.
addition to that, there, like he's very formally wearing casual. When you want to make it short,
You can blend it into the top. It's good.
that's more like pants to the short side. We do have that.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. That's interesting. Now you got two main celebrations in your country, isn't it? I was looking at the Diwali. The Diwali celebration. What do you celebrate on this? Do you participate in this?
So Diwali is actually, I mean, there's a symbolic form as well as a common, story behind it. So Diwali is celebrated when Lord Rama came back to Ayodhya after exile for a long time. So it's just a celebration. So that's the common.
Just a return.
Yeah, so return and celebration. But the actual spiritual significance of the festival is eradication of darkness and ignorance by knowledge or light. So the light symbolizes the knowledge, and the darkness is the ignorance. So you're just lighting the lamp to bring that knowledge into your heart as well as to the community. It's celebrated along with everyone,
It's
your
national.
friends. Yeah.
National.
It's a national festival.
Go
We
on the
light
streets and
lamps.
dance and stuff?
We light lamps. We crack. These days there is ban for crackers because you don't want to scare the animals. But you do crackers, distribute sweets, and then you offer new dress to elders and the youngest in the family, and also to everyone who is considered as family. As Nick was mentioning, if there are people who are helping you in the field, if there are people who are helping in the household, you buy and you give a small pot of money to everyone, and even the cows and the ox in the house gets a tikka. We call it a tikka, and some fruits on that
Really
day.
appreciate that. And then the other one is the Holi. It's all about
It's
love.
coming
is it?
up.
Yeah.
It's coming next month only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Festival
It's
of Colors.
It's
Festival
a
of
spring
Colour.
festival.
It's a spring festival. It's all about love, is it?
It's also about the Cupid. There is the story behind is about the Cupid. Kaveri will say that.
You will talk about it.
You find that a lot of all the festivals in India, it's not just the two festivals, but there's a whole heap of other festivals we celebrate, and all of it has to do with our interaction with the universe around us. So the seasons, even Holi is this festival of spring, after Vasanta, we call it, is the springtime, and when that is the time for love. You think of Asha ji mentioned that we are an agrarian society, everything revolves around agriculture. Around about the time of this time of the year, in March, April, May, you've got the harvest, you've worked the whole year, whole half of the year, you have the harvest and everything is bountiful now, and you take a bit of a rest, and spring you enjoy. And when the food is bountiful and you're enjoying life is when love comes. So a lot of love stories happen. Exactly, a lot of love stories happen around Holi.
That's right.
Holi is a color where is a beautiful festival where we throw colored powder, colored water on people, and it's
Just one more thing about Diwali itself. I think Diwali has gained more prominence now because it's seen as an equivalent to a Christmas thing.
Christmas,
Like,
yes.
Oh.
It is our Christmas,
Yeah.
in simple
so
words.
for Indians ourselves, Diwali is just another festival in line with so many other festivals. So it's not that the festival.
Okay.
We have a host of other festivals throughout
Yes,
India,
yes.
Throughout the year, and that's how it is.
And did you know that India is the second country in the whole world that speaks English? Second to the United States?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Second one, English speaking in the whole
Yeah.
world. That's fantastic, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, you'll be really surprised. Even the fisherman who has got mobile phones, they, if you look at some of the text messages or languages or things which they speak, because I'm talking about the fishermen because they are out in the sea and they're just sending short messages. You will find more than 50% of that will be English words. So that's an example of
People are educated.
how much people. I mean, it's not just education. There's a lot of English words which has been adopted because it's easy to say computer because there's no local language equivalent for
word
computer.
for that one,
For
yes.
electricity, you just say current.
Yeah.
There's no like similar equivalent easy word to say. So it's I say rather an easy way of communication.
Indians can also adopt English very easy because we are multilingual. Like at home, I speak one language. When I go to school, I speak a language. But in exams, I have to write in a different language. So it's easy for us to
learn,
adopt a language.
My mom, sorry to interrupt. My mom, she is 55 and she only studied till 5th grade, but she also speaks many English words in her age. She is speaking to my my nephew in some of the English and Gujarati mixed words. So
That's right, as long as you need something.
yes,
That's right. Let's talk about your food now.
food.
Spicy dishes. I mean, so when I think of India, I think about spices. And the hot spices.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate because of the tropical setting, the wet tropic setting. We have got all the spices which people came looking for.
Yes.
So the cuisine is also equally diverse because of the spices available. And from north to south, when you if you just travel from north to south, you'll see the difference because north is predominantly wheat-based, cuisines, whereas south is basically rice and then accompanied, dishes along with that. But there has been a lot of, influence from external culture as well because food is one thing which brings people together. So over the period of, centuries of, this, invasion and, mixing of cultures, we have cuisines which are inspired by Persians, from Dutch, from French, you name it, we have it. It's a melting pot.
But predominantly it's rice and...
in the south it's predominantly rice and it's in the southeast and in the northwest it's predominantly wheat based.
And you got basmati rice and saying that you use all this, the coriander. I like the coriander, I like the
Coriander is
turmeric.
my favorite.
We got turmeric in here, we like everything.
Extending on the point made about external influences on Indian cuisine, even Indians might be surprised. Chili, which we use so frequently in Indian food, is not Indian at all, natively. So that, it was brought in by the Portuguese around 400 odd years ago. And traditionally all our recipes involved only pepper. So pepper was used in larger quantities to
The black gold. It's called the black gold.
Yes. And pepper is what the initial European sailors came to, and where Smriti is from, seeking pepper. But they brought chili in exchange, but chili has now become an integral part of Indian cooking. Same with tomatoes. There were no tomatoes in India at all before, potatoes too. So now you can't imagine cooking without
I think one of the important things that especially if you're talking of culture, historically, evolutionarily, all cultures across the world are non-vegetarians, what Indians would call non-vegetarians, meat eating.
Yes.
But as this Indian civilization has evolved, living in a tropical country, we have a greatest contribution that India can give to the world is a vegetarianism. And how that you can have your whole foods and just by vegetables and lentils and grains, you can achieve the outcomes, nutritional outcomes. And that is something that we have lived for about 2 millennia. And that is an important progression in the civilization. And that's an important one which we don't ourselves recognize, Indians. We just see it as, oh, I'm a vegetarian, you're a non-vegetarian. But civilizationally, it's a very important step progress. Even when we look at environment now, we know how important that is. So, do you
What
want
do you
to say?
predominantly cook?
Sorry?
At your place, what do you know?
We are vegetarians, and
You are
we
vegetarian?
and we don't eat egg as well. So even if you have to make cakes, it's an eggless cake.
Yeah. Well, it says 20 to 40% of Indian population are vegetarian. Correct?
Yeah.
And when we say the other 70 or 78% are non-vegetarian, they are not meat eaters 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So the predominant population of India is meat eating, but they do it only occasionally, and that was the way people were able to sustain food production in an environmentally friendly way, in an environmentally sustainable way. We find that now in the last 100 years in Western culture, everyone wants to eat meat 3 times a day. And even in Western culture, that was not the case. Meat is something where you would have a few chooks in your backyard, you would have a couple of pigs or a couple of goats, and then once in a while you would have that. And predominant diet would be plant-based, and we find that has less impact towards the environment more. And India does have practices of meat eating, but you usually reserve that for the special occasion. So if your son-in-law comes to your house, go to the meat shop and grab some, but it wouldn't be something that you have for breakfast, lunch and dinner every day, which makes it special. So the high nutrient content of meat is reserved generally for special occasions. And I think considering the way the world is going and the environmental impact of large-scale meat production, learning from India and the Indian cuisine, showing that there is a wide variety of tasty, delicious food, plant-based foods available. It's a good contribution to the world.
Can I add to that, if I may?
Please, yeah.
Because this is a show basically which will be all over the world. So I really want to highlight what India has given to the world in terms of eating and cuisine, because Kaveri and Asha spoke about the cuisines, but one thing we have to also add to that is we are what we eat. So it's not just the things that we put into the system, when we put into the system as well. And India has shown to the world that we have to do regular intermittent fasting, and that has been instilled in our culture through the religious practices that we are doing. And recent studies have actually shown that intermittent fasting, whether you're a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, what you eat, how much you eat, at what time do you eat, makes a huge difference in your overall health. And I was just reading while I was coming for this show, I was just reading a clinical trial which happened in Austria. They looked at patients, cardiovascular patients, over 4 months, and looked at a randomized trial where they had gone through this intermittent fasting, and the resulted cardiovascular outcomes are amazing. And this has already been shown in cancer and other diseases, but this is the first clinical trial in cardiovascular diseases. So that's one thing which we really want to highlight, that it's not just the cuisine, it's what you eat, when you eat, at what time you eat.
And the way you eat.
The way you eat.
There is a uniqueness what we eat, the way we eat. We eat with the hands.
Okay, that's fine.
No cutlery.
Now talking about eating, alcohol.
Alcohol has been there part of the culture. It is religiously it is forbidden. It is forbidden. But if you look at the culture as such, alcohol has always been part of the culture. So there are tribal people who are who do stuff, but it's religiously it's forbidden for us to have alcohol. So that's a personal choice. If you are strict.
One of the areas you're doing very well, which I like, is music and performance. We talk about the Bollywood. I got a DVD somewhere. It has got 100 songs, Bollywood songs. When I used to play, when my kids were home, when I used to put the CD, you play for 6 hours, and they'll be bored. 6 hours you continuously playing. I'm doing this dancing and all that stuff. I like that music. I like the Bollywood. You're doing very well in terms of Bollywood music and performance and stuff. And we are so lucky today on the show, because we are going to see a demonstration of the classic Indian dance. And we've got Dr. Geeta Savadana. She's going to demonstrate on the show how to do this class. She's passionate about dancing. She's not a professional dancer, but she's got passion in dancing. I think she teaches some children as well in terms of dancing.
She teaches adults as well.
She teaches adults as well.
So
she's going to take us, maybe demonstrate for the show, for everybody else to have fun. We might as well have fun, isn't it? Merry life, merry clear mind, healthy lifestyle. That's all we need. That's what you do. Right. Anything else you want to add about is what stands out for India? Anything you want to say?
Can I summarize all the things what we said?
Please. Thank you.
Many people ask me, because I am away from India for last 3 decades. So how is Indian culture, food? I tell them, have you seen a Bollywood movie? Indian food, Indian culture is like that. It excites you, it transforms you. The curry will make you cry, the Bollywood will make you cry. The sweet will make you high. At the end, it will touch your heart. Indian culture.
I like that. That's good. Now we go to the next phase. We see the classical dance. Yeah. Is anything else want to? Nothing else want to add about India? Banning to let people know about
I'll
India?
just say family, festivals, food, fun.
And yoga.
What you say?
Yoga.
Yoga. You do all yoga, huh?
So yoga is part
We
of
have
Indian
yoga
culture.
I
classes
thought you
here.
are cricket guys. Yeah.
Cricket is in our blood, kind of.
Cricket is not.
That's
Yes,
a sport.
Cricket is not a sport for us. It's a religion. And
Sachin Tendulkar is our high god.
That's good. Okay, we just rearrange a little bit and we see the classical dance and everybody else enjoy it now. We go to the next phase of this show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome to the second part of the Dr. F show, and now we are going to the Indian dance, the classic dance time. And with me now here is Dr. Geeta Sadagopan.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for volunteering.
My pleasure.
I like your attire. Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness, you did the fit. How long did it take you to do all this?
About 90 minutes?
90 minutes.
Yes.
You did it yourself or somebody? You're a makeup artist or
No,
something?
I do it by myself.
In the mirror?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the mirror. My
Yeah.
husband is my mirror.
You look wonderful, you look beautiful. Now you are going to give us you're going to show the viewers a fantastic, classic, popular Indian dance,
Yes.
classic dance,
Yes,
right?
yes, it is.
It's a long name.
Yes.
Bharatanatyam.
Bharatanatyam. It's called Bharatanatyam.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's a compound word. It has three bits to it. Ba is bhava, expression, right? So the facial expression is bhava.
Right.
Bha, ra is raga, the melody. Tha is the tala, the beat.
Oh, the beat.
So we catch all the beats with your footsteps.
Oh,
Right. So footstep is part of, so a very important part of this classical dance.
Right.
It's about 3,000-year-old dance. It's
Right.
just it's a very structured form of dance.
How long have you done this?
About over 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
Did somebody teach you this or you
Yeah, I
self-taught?
actually came to Australia 30 years ago,
Right.
and I was as a child I was passionate about the dance, but I didn't have the chance to learn it.
Yes.
But I learned it here,
Yes.
and
Yeah, now
20 years
yeah.
ago now,
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yes.
And you teach other people, adults and children
Yeah,
about the dance?
I teach this dance free of cost for anyone who is interested to learn.
Yeah, to learn.
Yes.
And they have to dress up like you?
No, not for the practice, not for the class, but for the performance, yes.
Just for the performance. Now you're going to do the steps, yeah? You are facing the camera here. Everybody's watching you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, alright.
So you want me to
what,
yeah.
yeah, so you got your own music here. Yeah, let's get the beat on. Yeah, shall we do? Yeah,
Yeah.
you need the music, isn't it?
Of course, I need the
Yeah.
music.
Okay.
Mama,
I can see you're quite engrossed.
Yes.
In your own state of mind.
Yes, I am.
What's going on in your mind?
Yeah, just thinking about the whole the meaning of the song,
Yeah.
and then the spiritual connection you have in your dance. You know,
Yeah.
for me, it's like a spirituality.
You're passionate about this.
Yeah,
Listening
very
to all
passionate.
the-
Yeah, for hours.
Are you always dancing at home?
He dances to my tunes, my husband. Yes, I do early morning,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
an
yeah.
hour practice every morning.
Every morning. You're a doctor, yeah?
Yeah, doctor. I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm a PhD
Yeah,
doctor.
you said you're a homeopath, you said yeah.
No, no.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not a medical doctor.
Yeah, that's okay. That's good. Now, we appreciate
Thank
your
you.
performance.
Thanks for having me.
Beautiful
I really
song,
appreciate it.
Beautiful dance.
Thank you.
I could not do it, but in practice, obviously.
Yes,
I'd
of
like
course
to-
you can.
I'd like to see you more. Though.
Thank you.
I'd like
Yes.
to see you more. Yeah, we'll come to your shows and see what's
Okay.
happening there.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Okay.
you.
God bless
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Now we can't leave you until we show you the foods, the different foods that have been prepared for everybody to have a look. And the lovely lady there is going to show us the foods, Indian foods. These are not the common dishes, but there's some of the Indian foods we need to see. Yes, thank you so much for volunteering. So what's your name again? Yeah.
I'm Sunita.
Sunita. So what have you prepared for my favorite dish?
So today I'm going to show you some traditional South Indian food. It's a dosa.
South Indian.
South Indian.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
South Indian. Ah,
Yes.
yes, it's very good.
Yeah. So it's a dosa we call. Dosa. Yes.
Right, okay.
So it goes with the peanut chutney.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you are keen, I'll make it here and I'll give you some to taste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I got some batter and everything.
Yeah. So now you're going to show us how to cook this. Yeah. You said it only
Yeah.
takes 5 minutes. Did you say?
It is takes
It's a quick
only
dish, yeah?
quick dish.
Quick dish. Is it for
So-
breakfast or dinner? What time of the day is
It
this?
is a breakfast, very traditional food.
Breakfast.
It's
Okay.
breakfast. It's
Okay.
very traditional food. It's
Yes.
coming from forefathers.
Forefathers.
Yes.
Mm.
So what we use for this making this batter?
Yeah.
I used lentils,
Lentils.
and brown rice and
Brown.
1 cup of white rice.
Oh, okay.
So then we soak. If we have quantities to measure,
Yes.
so 1:3 like that.
Yes.
So
yes.
we soak overnight, at least 6 to 8 hours.
The
One
mixture.
day, yes, mixture, one
Yeah.
day before.
Yes.
So yesterday I soaked this one.
Yes.
So I wait for until 8 hours. Once
Yeah.
it's eight hours done,
Yes.
you understand it's soaked very nicely, you
Yes,
know,
yes.
and you grind it
Yeah.
and make this batter.
You grind it in a blend it or what did you?
I use a mixture to
Oh,
grind,
oh, grind
blend
it.
it,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay.
So once you get the fine fine texture,
Yeah.
and you leave it for overnight just outside in the container.
Yeah.
So it just ferment overnight.
Okay.
And then next day we use this one.
Yeah.
So we make those. See how
Yeah.
I'll show you how
Yeah.
we make this.
So you need a pan, obviously.
Yes, we need pan and something suits to make those. So put some.
So that's one. Flip it over.
Yeah.
Looks easy. Wow. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's
And that's
it.
your for
It-
breakfast
it
and a cup of tea itself.
Yeah, it is some kind of pancake, but pancakes
Yeah.
are sweet, but
Yeah.
this one is salty.
Yeah.
So that's all done.
That's it?
So
Okay.
I already made peanut chutney, peanut and coconut chutney.
Okay.
So in this I added some peanuts, coconuts, or fried green chilies. If you
Yeah.
want spicy, you can add more green chilies,
Right.
and some turmeric.
Turmeric as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
turmeric. So, and this goes. So this is our breakfast.
That's the breakfast.
Yes.
No eggs, no beans, nothing. No
Nothing.
mushrooms, nothing.
Nothing.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and a cup of tea.
Yes. Yes. If you would like to, you can. Once you finish.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, I will test this now.
Yes.
So you just have to dip in there?
Yes. Dip in this and eat. Let me know.
That's
the
very
taste.
good. It's not sweet at all.
I told you. It's
I love it. I love it. No?
Loved it?
Okay, thank you so much for joining us on the Dog Dave Show. It is really a pleasure having the Indian community from Townsville area here, up here north of Queensland, basically in Australia. You will see different nationalities, you see different cultures on the show. The next one will be the Italians, you've got the Japanese, you've got the Filipinos, all lined up. It's about knowing each other, about awareness, about knowing from each other, learning from each other, and overall, just being happy and sharing ideas and values and stuff. So keep well, keep safe wherever you are, and God bless you. Bye-bye for now.